Okay guys, welcome to this video. And if you guys are watching me for the first time, I'm not doing my hair or my makeup. Well, the makeup video for this look is coming after. I lied. I'm telling the truth, but I kinda lied. I don't know. But no. Let's just get into the video. Okay guys, so we are reviewing Medea's Destination Wedding, aka Tyler Perry's Medea's Destination Wedding. Now we're gonna not talk about the beginning, but I'm gonna give my real input in this movie. This movie was more likely a 7 out of 10. Now, at the end of the day, I have to realize that Tyler Perry, he makes certain good movies, but not all good movies. The last Medea movie, I wasn't really feeling it as much. It was funny, just a little bit, but the movie kind of pissed me off. Destination Wedding kind of pissed me off. Because I can't believe y'all allowed Tiffany to get married at such a young age. And knowing how this society is, I wouldn't want my child getting married very early. I would want my child to basically, well, I don't know why I'm talking about my child, because I don't even want to have kids. Knowing how I am, I'm only 18 and I'm talking about kids, but let's really get into it. So, we're going to talk based off the trailer. I watched the movie. It was a good movie, but what pissed me off was the fact that y'all allowed Tiffany to get married very young. I understand she's grown, but I feel like y'all should have had this talk with Tiffany with, settle down a bit. Like, just settle down a bit. Like, settle down with yourself first before you even think about getting married. Because me, personally, I have to admit, I don't even want a relationship because I have a hard time focusing on myself. When there's a lot of people around, I have to focus on everybody. Everybody. I gotta make sure everybody's good. Like trying to play the superhero syndrome that I used to have. But I stopped with this superhero thing and I started focusing on myself, like putting more onto myself. But I feel like that what pissed me off is that y'all allowed Tiffany to get married. But she says she loves Z and Z loves her. So that's why they went off with the wedding. But I'm not here to judge. Happy for you, Tiffany. I know this is a movie, but this is more just than a movie. But let's get into it. So we see Brian and Deborah talking, and Tiffany spilled the news that her and Z is getting married. Now Z gets to meet the family, and now Deborah is trying to manipulate Brian to pay for the wedding. She wasn't even a good wife to this man. I don't even know why she in the picture, but she had kids with Brian. So what's the point, right? So basically, now we get to the part where we on the plane. We're not going to talk about what Mr. Brown did in that plane, because he did his big brown one on this one. But, but I do like Mr. Brown. He is really spiritual and all of this, but also funny and also a little too much of a Leo for me. But we shouldn't be talking about Zoe Sykes. But right back into the plane situation. After the plane situation, they all boarded off. We are officially in the Bahamas. Yes, officially in the Bahamas. So now we get to the Bahamas. We're getting in the rooms and stuff booked. Guess what Deborah did? Manipulate Brian to pay for the rooms. And you know what's funny? The only reason why Deborah's doing that is because his family is so good at making fun of him. His family is so good at making fun of him because they say he other side. Like why y'all trying to play Brian out? Okay, I get it. This is Tyler Perry playing as Medea and Joe, but still, y'all keep playing him out like that. Like, come on, cuz. Like he don't want he got a career more than any of y'all in there. And Deborah, you're just the housewife. No shade. No shade. You're just a housewife. No shade. At least we're gonna get to that part. So now Deborah gives Medea this big room, and then all of a sudden Medea's like in the room and all that stuff. And then once Deborah leave the room, here comes Medea. Say, she up to something. When Medea says somebody up to something, oh, we already know. This is how it all gets started. So fast forward, basically, Bam texted Medea to come down to the casino, and that's what Medea did. Came down to this casino, overheard Dennis talking on the phone with Deborah, saying we're getting divorced. I'm like, not Deborah getting divorced again? And we thought she all had it like that. She was saying, my husband got this, my husband got that, my husband got this. Just for Dennis to say that we gotta continue with the divorce. And that's where Medea uncovered every single thing. But I kind of skipped the part where Tiffany was looking for a gown. Mind you, Tiffany didn't like the gown. I also like the gown. But at the same time, it's literally funny how Deborah is allowing Tiffany to get married this young. But you know what's sad about that situation? Guess what? Tiffany got to find out. At the same time, we all got to find out how. Well, at first, let's go to the lobby scene where Brian caught Z and another woman talking and arguing. So then we all got to see that, well, the whole entire time Z wasn't lying and cheating at the same time. But also, that was his mom. We're not going to get to that part of the conversation. But also, I feel like my intake in this movie was that, you know, at the end of the day, I feel like Deborah is really the villain in this whole entire movie. Because for you to allow your daughter to get married young and trying to push her into marriage so fast just so she get $1 million, but then at the same time, I felt like she was guilty for not being there, for not showing up for Tiffany emotionally and also mentally and also physically at that, because we barely see Deborah like that when it comes to Tiffany. She's just letting everything slide, knowing that she shouldn't let everything slide with what Tiffany does, because at the end of the day, Dennis divorcing Deborah, he's trying to save himself, okay? He realized that Deborah isn't wifey material. After all, Deborah's not perfect, and we have to understand that people are not perfect. But, you know, whole situation, like I said, I'm not spoiling nothing. But yeah, we're going to wrap this up. Okay, we're going to wrap this up. Okay, guys, so while me ending this video, Deborah knew what she was doing this whole entire time. That's what makes her the villain. Because at the end of the day, for her to even make that, for her to make the recommendation for Tiffany and Z to get married to the Bahamas, knowing that she was trying to sell her daughter off for $1 million is crazy. Like, it's really crazy. But that's just my opinion of how I saw it, because I feel like she was selling her daughter off for $1 million, because at the end of the day, she wasn't really much of a good mother to the kids after all, because her dealing with substance abuse, I don't judge anybody that really went through that situation, but Deborah knew the whole entire time what she was doing. She was up to it, and like I said, she is the villain of this movie. But yeah, but I had to admit this was a good movie, but I also made a mistake of saying that they made Tiffany get married young. But I mean, truth be told is they did make Tiffany get married young, but at the same time, what I should have said was, would Deborah actually pushing Tiffany to get married very young like that, like rushing her to get married to Z, knowing that they should have taken the time? Because what if they grow out of feelings? Like, that's why a lot of people are getting divorced. I mean, Deborah is the one getting divorced, and now her daughter is getting married. I will find something off about that, because Tiffany should never take advice from her mother, knowing that she's going through. Well, Tiffany didn't know that her and Dennis was going through a divorce, but I feel like Deborah pushing Tiffany to get married just so Tiffany could get $1 million, and BJ, aka Brian Jr. to get $1 million again just to go to college. I mean, I understand, like, not every man could do that. Not every man will actually give your child $1 million after a divorce. Like, what man would do that for us? And she's a black woman on top of that. What man would do that for us? But, you know, Deborah, she's in the wrong for even making her daughter rush into things that she has no business of doing. Because her getting married young to this boy, I mean, we saw the red flags in the beginning. So, yeah. But this was a good movie. But back to my final thoughts. To my final thoughts right now. So, final thoughts. Tiffany getting married to Z. I feel like you guys should have waited. Because, Tiffany, you have a future ahead of you. Like, a future ahead of you. You getting married this young ain't worth it. But, you know, she loves Z and Z love her. We all get the fairy tale story. Now, with Deborah and Dennis divorcing, I feel like it's a good thing for both of them. Because, after all, Deborah is very manipulative. Very manipulative. But also, we have to admit, you know, I don't got my intakes on Dennis because we don't even know Dennis like that. We don't even know Deborah like that. We barely even saw them for years. The last time we saw Deborah was Boo 2. But anyways, also, I want to give my final thoughts of, you know, being married young, feeling this pressure from your mom because, you know, and also, the key to this is money doesn't bring happiness. And I would like to give my final thoughts on this one. Yeah, money isn't really happiness because at the end of the day, me personally, I was never happy when I had money. I never was happy when I had material things. I'm not even happy for anything. But I realized that me fixing myself mentally and emotionally and showing up for myself emotionally, because not a lot of people in my life, well, yeah, there's barely people in my life that show up for me emotionally. But at the same time, I told myself, you know what, Herlinda, before you even think about making money, before you think about doing YouTube videos, before you think about anything, put yourself first emotionally. Always put your emotions first, because you don't want to have all this money and start to be a lot more, you know, I would say, prideful about it. Because me, I don't need that much pride because I have money, because I have material things. But at the same time, money does destroy your loved ones. Money does destroy a relationship that you have, either with your kids, your husband. We all see how this goes, because Deborah, she has felt a lot of guilt before from her substance abuse, not being there for the kids mentally or emotionally, also physically at that. And for the things she done to Brian, she just had to use money to cover all of these things up. But at the same time, I genuinely feel like this was a good movie. But then, like I said, I rated it a 7 out of 10 because 3 of those points are not in my category. But 7 out of 10, I give the movie rate. And I also would love for you guys to like, share, and subscribe. I will do more movie reviews. This is just my very first movie review. I don't know if I really explain things correctly, because I'm not really good at explaining things. Because, you know, I'm really bad at explaining things, reviewing things. But I'm just good at doing hair, makeup, and dressing up. And that's just that. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to comment. And see you guys in the next video. Bye. Now, before you guys see me in the next video, make sure you guys let me know, other than my opinion, should I do a movie, a full, literally full movie review with me giving full details of how I feel, of what the movie, which part you couldn't understand, and all that stuff. And I will, by my best ability of my knowledge, I will state my opinion, not a fact. But yeah, just see you guys in the next video. I just want to know if you guys really want to see me do a full review. This video was just my opinion and how I see things, like just more like a, how do I feel about the movie. But yeah, see you guys in the next video.